guardians, parents, families, and students alike. And we're going to talk about preparing for your final exams. So what does that entail, as far as academically, socially, emotionally, those sorts of things? Physically,
Lena,
what does that mean for us? Hello?
come here.
All right. All righty. So let me pull you over here and start sharing my screen for you guys. All right. I hope everybody can see.
Yep, you're good.
All right. Like I just said, it's no secret, guys, right? That finals are a stressful time for everyone. It's a stressful time for students, a stressful time for teachers, a stressful time for families. Pretty much puts you right through the 5 stages of grief sometimes. But it doesn't have to be that way, okay? We can minimize the impact that finals has on us, and we can maximize the impact that it'll have on our grade. The very, 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 very first step to preparing for your finals is to know your final schedule. Know when your tests take place, know where they take place, right? Some of your tests might be on Meets, others might be on Zoom, others might be just to write or research something on your own and submit it, right? So it might sound simple, but taking the time to look up your test schedule is going to help you stay organized, and it could minimize some anxiety that you might have. Check with your teachers, all right? Make sure you know when your finals are taking place and what they're going to cover. The next step, once you know when everything's taking place and also what it's going to cover, create a study plan and a schedule that allows you to review material at your own pace, right? Sometimes, oftentimes, it can help to break that schedule up with some 30-minute increment kind of breaks to relax. Give your mind a second to shut off, and it also gives your brain just a second to absorb the information that you're taking in, right? So make sure that you do this at your own pace. So if math is something that you don't necessarily take as easy to as maybe you do English, then schedule yourself that way. Give yourself more time, to give more attention to give to your math than you do your English, which comes easier to you. Schedule your time out like that. So, question for the group right now. Do you guys happen to know when your final exams are and where they are taking place?
No.
No.
Nobody? All right. All right. There we go. We got a goal. We got a goal for the end of by the end of the day tomorrow, let's say. Let's find out where our final exams are and when they are taking place and what format they're going to be in. All right.
Hey,
Removing
Ryan.
distractions. Getting distracted is.
Mr. Jones?
Yo,
How would they best do that?
I'm sorry.
How would they best do that? Would they email the teachers?
Absolutely. So email your teachers. I think I mentioned that before. Contact your teachers. You can do it through Google Classroom or you can email. You're also going to use a little something called the Home Access Center reoccurring theme. That's a real quick way to email all teachers just from one platform, if you will.
Excuse me. My name's Dana Brown. I'm on here, and the reason why
Hi.
we jumped on to this was because we wanted specifically to try and understand how exams were going to be administered and all of that. So it's sounding like each of us individually need to contact our teachers. Is there maybe a better way that parents could be communicated with so that we could just, instead of teachers being inundated with hundreds of emails, maybe each of the teachers could put out some kind of a notification to each of their classes. And maybe this has already happened, but that's just, sorry to interrupt here, but I think that's just probably
Okay.
the majority of people are really concerned about how and when and why. How these exams are going to be administered and when.
So most of the teachers have put forth plans on a Google Classroom. If they haven't yet, that's where you'd find it first from your teachers. But the best step is to reach out to your teachers via email and find out what they're doing. If you don't see it on Google Classroom, if they haven't posted it yet, and that's something that is on your mind, reach out to your teachers individually by email. Some departments like PE,
Okay,
for
yeah, thank you. I
example.
didn't realize it might be all on Google Classroom already. Because I have Home Access Center, but I didn't realize that I could look on Google Classroom and see all of that. So I'll just go there and hopefully that'll give us an answer. But I think, yeah, the majority of parents out there, it's just kind of like, where do we look to find this answer?
Yeah, absolutely. I got you.
Thank
So yeah,
you.
so hopefully I answered that for you. Yeah, no problem. All right. So getting distracted is very easy. Okay. So when you are going to study or when your student's going to study, make sure they put themselves in an environment. Will keep that from happening. Turn off the cell phone. All right. Put it away. Don't silence it. Don't just set it off to the side because you know it's going to light up and it's just going to be like a bug light for you. And so just put it away. Turn it off. Resist the urge to browse other websites and material not related to the subject matter. Try not to keep them up even as tabs because it's really, 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 really easy to be distracted. Select a place that does not have a lot of, excuse me, a lot of other options than to study. For example, if you choose your bedroom, that's great and all, but you might have a TV up there that you're probably going to have on. You might have a pet coming in and out of the room, a cat or a dog that's wanting your attention. You probably got a nice cozy bed that you'd rather be laying in. So if it's an environment that provides and fosters distraction, try to minimize it. The kitchen table might be a better spot for you. Or even, if you need to set something up down in the basement or in another room of the house, just for studying, maybe that's not a bad idea as well. We've talked about setting up spaces for remote learning and other presentations. Just make sure it's free distractions, free clutter. The more organized, the better is another thing to think about. All right, another question. What are some of your favorite foods and snacks to enjoy while you are studying or working? Go ahead. Fire away, guys. All right, I'm going to take your silence as an overwhelming enthusiasm to answer where you guys probably just couldn't click the unmute button fast enough to respond. And that's all right. I'll keep moving. So some foods and snacks that are going to be good for you guys. Put in your, I got here. There is no magic food that's going to get you through finals week, but staying hydrated, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and having a minimum of 3 balanced meals with snacks when you're hungry is going to be crucial to getting your body to its optimum performance level, right? You got to put fuel inside your body for it to be working. So I left a little list here. We will send this presentation out in slides so that you guys can view them. But if you'd like to take a screenshot, feel free. The snacks that are listed here are considered to be balanced snacks. The reason they're considered balanced snacks is because they've got carbs, proteins, and or fats in them. And what those are going to do, those are going to make you feel fuller longer. And they're also going to provide you with energy. The self-care. Make sure you're taking plenty of breaks for yourself, right? Take time to relax, cool off, calm down, find your center. All right, get lots of sleep. You can do your own research on cell cycles and things like that, and what happens to your body when you do get a full night's sleep versus what doesn't happen for your body when you don't get a full night's sleep. I'll let you do that research on your own. You can look up cell cycles. Don't pull any all-nighters when you're studying. It's not beneficial. Okay, if you're pulling an all-nighter, it means you weren't organized. It means you didn't schedule your time right. Save the all-nighters for celebrating after finals. Staying up all night, playing Call of Duty or something with your friends on the Xbox or the PlayStation or whatever. Up all night drinking Mountain Dews and eating Doritos and all the other stuff kids do. Exercise and get some physical activity. That's really important as well. Even if that physical activity is not necessarily something exerting, yoga, things like that can also be really beneficial. I want to include some helpful links and resources. Again, these links will be more helpful when we send the presentations out and you guys can actually use the links. But if you'd like to do a screenshot here, you can, and you're more than welcome to Google these things. Auburn's homepage is here for you guys. The student resources section, the Home Access Center, again. If you haven't picked up on the fact that the Home Access Center is really important, I would just say that for you right now. Home Access Center, super important. It is the keys to the castle, okay? Virtual calming rooms over here under the social emotional links, castle care, mental health temp checks, just in case you really think that you're being pushed to the brink and you need somebody to talk to. Auburn Counselors homepage is there as well. And some other links related to what we were talking about. 815 outside. What does that got to do with finals, Mr. Jones? Well, when I talk about getting outside and getting some exercise and that being beneficial for you, that's where you can find places to recreate. That's where you can find places to hike, places to walk, virtually any outdoor activity you can think of, most of them free, you'll be able to find on 815 outside. Right here, Instacart. Great place to get groceries delivered. That way you don't got to take time away from studying. Hey, and you know, hey, Mr. Jones, all those things are really great, but I don't drive yet, and my parents are at work. No problema. RMTD, to, from, what time you want to be there, your guide to get a ride, okay? So that's the end of my presentation for you guys. I hope you found some of these helpful. I'm sure some of these were things that you might have already known, but I hope there were some other things that you did find helpful and you found interesting.